to say that you're a Loyola student. I do like it when it's easy to kind of see the variety of posts. So here, in this one, we have a kind of a teaser photo. Every post should definitely have like a decent title, so that the reader can kind of come and kind of get a sense of what it might be about. And for each of you, your different blog platforms have different different themes or different templates that you can change some of the parameters, some of the options. And this one kind of has a teaser. In journalism, we would call this the lead. And then if as the reader you're kind of interested in, you would hit click reading, or you could click on the photo. Some of your blog platforms will throw in advertisements. There's nothing you usually can do about that unless you pay to get a subscription. But I like it when I can kind of don't have to look at the whole article, because then you really have to scroll down to find the next article. And I mentioned to several of you, we definitely want to have several photos per article. And it kind of depends on what the topic is, but something where you're going out and about to an event, or talking about an area of a town or a restaurant, something like that, it lends itself to not just good writing, but visual storytelling in general. This course isn't a course in photography, obviously, but I think all of you have a fair amount of experience since you were before teenage years taking digital photos, and being able to decide, okay, well, this photo is good, this one's not, and so that's basically what I'm looking for, is almost a common sense approach. All of these blog formats should allow you to align text to the right or left of smaller photos, so that's good here. All of them should allow to be able to have the date, and that's one thing I do want to see, is a title and a date in every blog post, so that I can know when you published it, and a variety of photos. Some of the blog formats will allow the user to click on a photo to get a larger version, and others not, so it just kind of depends. I am looking at kind of good common sense type formatting, so I like the lists here, and the use of this, what we call strong or bold, to be able to look at it better. One thing that you might want, or actually you should do, is you should look at how your blog looks on a laptop like this, and then also look at what it looks like on your mobile phone. And if you notice a big difference, like if one of the platforms, it doesn't look so good, then you might want to play around with the theme, or the way you're formatting each article to make it easier to read. Because the percentage of people who are accessing blogs and other kind of content on their mobile devices just goes, it's going up and up over the years. Here's another one here. I like that this is really simple and easy to look at. Like that I have the date, the title. For this one, I mean, one thing that you can include, and I would encourage you, is, and I'm not sure if this is his photo, I mean a video or not, but if you find a video that's on YouTube that has to do with your topic, then by all means, throw it in there. Most of these formats, if you just paste in the URL to the video in the input for the article, then when you publish that page, it will automatically know that it's a YouTube video, and it will embed it there. I think the other reason why I included this one was that I want everyone to start putting links, okay? And it's not necessarily the most intuitive thing, but when a reader comes, let's say you're doing a restaurant story about going to a restaurant or going to an area of town, then putting the restaurant URL will help get more information. So any web page that you find that gives more information, like historical type of information, event type information, is useful or could be useful to the reader. And the link should be done like this. So don't just paste in a URL and make it active. Actually select a phrase that you want to link, and then in your blog tool, you should be able to select it, click the link button, and then paste that URL. So how it's done here is the correct way to do it, and it's pretty much, this is the accepted way to do it, any type of web publishing as well. And I just like this one because I like the way the setup is. It's really easy for me to see. Now, one thing you don't have here is you don't have a teaser, like a lead paragraph that's shown for each one. So in that case, if this is the way your theme is set up, then you want to make sure your title and your lead photo here, your teaser photo, are both really kind of appropriate for helping the reader to understand where this or what the topic is. So this one, unusual friend. Now I can tell. I'm assuming this is maybe in Washington D.C. Although there's other places in the world that look kind of like this. So the title "Unusual Friends" doesn't help me as much, but it's probably more about the topic that she's writing about. I like this topic, the story of a tree. You have the kind of, so I'm thinking this is something about nature, a hike or something like that. And so when I click in there, I have, and then I from reading this, I know that she's describing this this tree in detail in the article. She has the link here. One thing in general for all of you to work on is to get some really detailed descriptions. Now, granted, I know that you're going to be having these photos, so I can see the photo, but in terms of working on your writing, then you should act as if, okay, what if certain people can't see the photos, or it's not there, they don't even look at it, and so how would you describe this tree and what it means to your experience and your reflection of this hike? And I think that was done in here. One thing that you need to balance is, remember that travel writing is a journalism type genre, right? So it's a genre that's more creative in the writing than news writing would be. But at the same time, it is journalism, so you do want to make sure you give a certain number of facts. And so we have the name of the hike area here, the link. Somewhere you want to have what in journalism we would call the lead. Is so, like, you know, on Friday, my friend and I went to the hike at the Lontaka Brook Reservation. And that doesn't have to necessarily be in the beginning. You see here that she starts off with a kind of a more creative beginning, but eventually, okay, I want to know as the reader, oh, okay, this is what the story is really about. Like I said before, if this was a news writing course, then it would be less creative and more right to the point of here's what the news is. So in this course, this type of journalistic writing, it's definitely much more of a balance between creativity, but also conveying facts and information as well. So in terms of photos, like photos this size, it's kind of, you got to decide. You can kind of just justify them in the middle. With this size, you probably could have the text wrapping around to the left or right. For much bigger photos, then you definitely can just have them thrown in the middle. For really big photos, the one thing you don't want to do is have them be at the very top before the first paragraph, because otherwise they could totally black out the lead, so that a reader comes to it and they might just think, oh, this page only has a photo, and don't even realize that there's a whole article there. So these are just some trends that I'm seeing.